On the Global TV News Prime tonight, no need for protests, Tinubu tells Nigerians. Senate passes 70,000 new minimum wage to bill. In business news tonight, CBN raises lending rates to 26.75%. On the first scene, Kamala Harris compares Trump to predators and cheaters. In sport tonight, Andy Murray to retire after Paris Olympics. Hello everyone, welcome to the News Prime here on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Deacon Michael. We'd like to first remind you that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365. Tonight, we begin by telling you that President Bola Tinubu has appealed to Nigerians who plan to stage nationwide on-air protests to shelve the plan. He also called on citizens to give his administrations enough time to respond to their requests. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, revealed these to State House correspondents after closed-door talks with President Tinubu at the Aso Rock Villa, Abuja. His comment came days after a call for nationwide protests from August 1st to 10th against the rising cost of living and the economy hardship. Now the Senate has passed the bill to amend the National Minimum Wage Act of 2019 to increase the national minimum wage from 30,000 naira to 70,000 naira. The bill passed by the Senate also includes a provision to decrease the interval for reviewing the national minimum wage from every 5 years to every 3 years, among other related matters. President Bola Tinubu has transmitted the Police Act Amendment Bill 2024 to the House of Representatives for consideration. Our Speaker Tajuddin Abbas, who discloses, read the President's letter on the floor of the Green Chamber during the plenary. The executive bill proposes amendment to the Principal Act, specifically targeting the tenure and provisions of the Inspector General of Police. In further developments, the Inspector General of Police IGP Kayode Bertukun has warned organizers of the planned nationwide protest that the police will not condone any form of violence capable of creating chaos in the country. IGP Bertukun gave the warning while addressing strategic police managers at a conference in Abuja. Our correspondent Kikolo Mokere has details.
In a bid to prevent a repeat of the widespread chaos which led to the loss of lives and properties seen during the EndSARS protest, the Nigerian Police Force has pledged to take firm action to forestall a recurrence. IGP Egbetokun advised organizers of the protest to shelve the idea as the federal government is aware of their suffering and is working towards alleviating the situation.
We will therefore not sit back and fold our arms to watch violent extremists unleash violence on our peaceful communities, or destroy any of our national critical infrastructure and assets again. We have mapped out plans to ensure that no individual or group succeed in fostering a reign of terror and of anarchy on other law-abiding and peace-loving Nigerians. Consequently, I want to seize this opportunity to clearly sound a note of serious warning to hoodlums who might want to take laws into their hands in the name of protest, to have a routine as we will not fold our arms and allow our beloved country to be set on fire.
Speaking on destruction of public properties, such as issues of vandalism and components of critical public infrastructure, such as manhole covers, rail lines, and public lights, he says it's devastating and have negative consequences on national development. He therefore urged the senior officers to redouble their efforts in addressing the menace and give adequate protection to public property.
Pipeline vandalism, in particular, has resulted in significant economic losses, environmental degradation, and loss of lives. The theft of manhole covers has led to accidents, injuries, and even deaths, while the destruction of rail lines has disrupted transportation and hindered economic activities.
He says there is a drop in major crimes reported in the last 1 month, which stood at 416 compared with 734 and 530 for the months of May and June, respectively. He commended the personnel of the Nigerian police force for their dedication to policing mission and outstanding research effort at implementing strategies to restore internal security. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
The House of Representatives called on the federal government to suspend the chief executive officer of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, Farouk Ahmed, pending the conclusion of the investigations of allegations against what it called the unguarded statement by him. The resolution of the House followed the adoption of a motion of urgent public importance sponsored by the member representing Esosa Federal Constituency in those state. Esosa during the plenary on the need to address issues arising from Farouk's utterances about the nation's liquor refineries. The lawmaker reminded his colleagues that claims of all adulterated fuel in the Nigerian market must be thoroughly investigated, citing that fuel quality can impact engine hardware. The Defense Police Officers' Wife Association's Musa Igogo says the association is committed to serving and supporting those in need, especially internally displaced persons. She made this known while distributing relief items to internally displaced persons at Durumi IDP camp in Abuja. Akikila Mokari has the rest of the details.
Inhabitants of Durumi IDP camp are made up of 330 households, 70% of whom are women and children from Borno, Adamawa and Yobe states, displaced by insurgents in the northeast. President, Defense Police Officers' Wives Association, Ogogo Musa, says medical outreach and the relief material is in commemoration of her birthday to identify with the less privileged.
To mark my special day, but also to demonstrate our commitment to serving and supporting those in need. To the internally displaced persons here today, I want to assure you that we see through your struggles, we hear your stories, and we are dedicated to helping you in any little way we can.
The women leader Durumi IDP camp applauds the DPOA president for her kind gesture.
Body in face are shining because of the goods that she bring for us. She give us health and she give us food and she put smile on our face, on our children's face. So we are so glad, we are so happy, we are happy for her.
Other items distributed include 90 bags of rice, 10 bags of gari, 10 bags of guinea corn, among others. A medical outreach with distribution of drugs. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
The Lagos State Police Command has detected a fake sachet water manufacturing factory operating with another brand name registered by the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration's in control in the Oluwole market area of Lagos. A command spokesman, SP Benjamin Adugin, posted it on his verified X handle, formerly Twitter, while confirming the arrest of the suspect. Adugin commended the people of Lagos for providing the police with information leading to the operation and for safeguarding the health of Lagosians. The National Orientation Agency has urged residents in Gigawat to be vigilant and heed safety measures to mitigate flooding. The director in the state, Malam Hamid Ibrahim, said this in a statement by its spokesperson, Sarah Agoda. It said the call was imperative secure to the national flood early warning systems, which indicated that the state is likely to experience downpours in the coming weeks. However, both the Jigawa State Council of Chiefs and the Christian Association of Nigeria have called on the Nigerian government to address the hardship in the country. The groups gave their advice at the town hall meeting in Dushe, the state capital, attended by the governor, Umar Namadi, student and trade union leaders. They asked residents of the state not to join the planned street protests, warning that it could trigger a breakdown of law and order. The CAN chairperson in Jigawa, Maurice Hassan, urged the government to set a market price stabilizing mechanism to check arbitrary hikes in the food prices. You're watching News Prime coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on DSTV channel 365 and StarTime channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using at Global TV Engine or the handles now shown on the screen. When News Prime returns, OPS opposes fresh interest rates hike as MPC meets today. We'll bring you these and other stories shortly after this break. Do stay with us.
Welcome to Bayes University, Abuja, Nigeria, with a legacy of excellence and a vision for nurturing future leaders. Bayes University is in a league of its own. We're all about our people, processes, and technology.
Bayes is one of the highly rated universities in Nigeria in terms of product quality standards.
We don't just produce graduates, but groom people into employers of labor.
And it has made us understand that learning is all about three things. We learn, we unlearn, and we relearn.
Bayes University Hospital offers a range of specialized services equipped with the latest technology, manned by a team of trusted professionals. And now, our vision extends beyond our walls with the Baba Ahmed University in Kano following our lead. Join us at Bayes University and invest in your future today.
Bayes University is the institution that you will get the best value for money education in Nigeria.
Bayes University. Learn to live.
Welcome back. You're still watching News Prime on Global Television. Now to business tonight. Our president of Dangote Group, Aliko Dangote, has made an offer to sell the Dangote refinery to the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporations Limited. Speaking in an exclusive interview, he expressed his willingness to sell the refinery to address allegations of monopoly in the industry. He stated that if the NNPCL takes over the refinery, the allegations of monopoly will no longer be valid. And as part of efforts to address public concern over the soaring food prices, the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission says it has implemented measures to curb the price, promote fair competitions, and protect consumers. The acting executive vice chairman of the commission, Dr. Adamu Abdullahi, discloses while addressing newsmen of fulfilling the commission's legal mandate of President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda in Abuja. Our correspondent Queen Ageba has details.
Acting Executive Vice Chairman, Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, Adamu Abdullahi, says with a concerted effort, the Commission conducted measures to prevent anti-competitive practices in mergers and acquisition. This, he added, will help to preserve consumer choices by preventing large companies from unnecessarily acquiring small competitors and restricting options.
And to address public concerns over soaring food prices, the OCPC implemented measures to curb price gouging, promote fair competition, and protect consumers. We monitored markets, partnered with stakeholders, enforced pricing transparency, and sensitized consumers.
While speaking on the biggest challenges Nigerians are facing, the Executive Vice Chairman stated that electricity consumers have a lot of complaints on exploitative billing, unlawful disconnection, non-metering of consumers, amongst other complaints. He stated that FCCPC is working hard to tackle the prevalent issues and improve service delivery by implementing various programs and initiatives aimed at improving transparency and accountability in the sector.
The most common consumer complaints in the industry include exploitative billing, unlawful disconnection, non-metering of consumers, lack of transformers, and other salient issues. Given the relevance of electricity as a critical utility, the Commission prioritized intervention in the industry to tackle prevailing issues and improve service delivery by implementing various programs and initiatives aimed at promoting transparency and accountability in this sector.
He says the Commission is working tirelessly to promote competition and protect consumers to create a vibrant economy that benefits both business and Nigerians. For Global Television, Queen Agaba reporting.
Now, the National Agricultural Development Fund says it is actively participating in various projects and programs and initiatives that will help alleviate the issues of food insecurity and boost productivity. The Executive Secretary, Mohammed Ibrahim, discloses in an interactive session with the Joint National Assembly Committee on Agriculture in Abuja chaired by Senator Selu Mustafa. Kiko Lebel has the details.
Despite the country's vast arable land and tech-inclined population, the agricultural sector has remained stunned due to lack of substantial financial support. The Executive Secretary, National Agricultural Development Fund, Mohammed Ibrahim, says the fund is investing the sum of 2.5 billion naira to partner with Niger State government, among other partnerships, for increased food production.
We're going into a partnership with Niger Foods to produce 10,000 hectares of mixed cropping. It's maize and soya this month, and then another 20,000 in the wet and dry season. And we're doing this, as I mentioned earlier, our overarching principle here is to optimize unutilized assets towards production. We're visiting the Nigerian Army farms tomorrow. We visited the one in Giri, and we are going to Ede in Osun State with them tomorrow. There we are looking at partnering with the Nigerian Army farms to do 4,000 hectares of cassava. We've been speaking with the Dawn Commission, the development agenda for Western Nigeria. We had a 2-day parley with the 6 commissioners of agriculture of the Southwest, and we are also about concluding a partnership, if not for other problems, to partner with the Dawn Commission in that.
In his remark, Honorable Yusuf Baraje, representing Bozo Paikoro Federal Constituency of Niger State, says there is need to partner with research institutes, which he noted would have alleviated the epidemic that affected the production of food, particularly ginger.
If you have been partnering with Ahmadu Bello University, maybe we will have remedied the epidemic that occurred in Kaduna State as it affects ginger production. Are you not thinking of how do we now revamp this research institute? How do we partner with them? Don't partner with people that are already, this is somebody that is dying. He needs your intervention. If you go to Mokwa, for instance, you have a large sum of land there, procured and was being maintained. There are structures by the Ahmadu Bello University Research Institute. We just allow those things to die. With this kind of fund, why don't we intervene to make sure that our research institutes come back to life?
Agriculture is widely recognized as a key driver of economic growth in Nigeria, as it contributes significantly to the nation's GDP and provides livelihoods to millions. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
The House of Representatives has called on all parties involved in the ongoing dispute in the petroleum sector to cease fire pending the outcome of its investigations. The Joint Committee on Petroleum, Midstream and Downstream made the call as it commences a forensic legislative investigation into allegations of substandard petroleum product and the non-availability of crude oil through domestic refineries and other related matters. Our correspondent has details.
To help us to discharge
The Joint Committee on Petroleum, Midstream and Downstream says the investigation will proceed in phases, starting with allegations against Dangote Refinery and the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority regarding the quality of produced and imported products, as well as the complaints by the refining companies about the non-availability of crude oil supply to domestic refineries. Chairman, Petroleum Resources Downstream, Honorable Ikenga Ogechinere, and Chairman, Petroleum Resources Midstream, Honorable Odianisin Okeje, call on stakeholders to provide comprehensive support, including essential information and documentation that will help with the investigation. They urge refinery operators, importers, producers, and marketers of petroleum products to share their complaints, suggestions, and independent facts.
our mandate, as set by the House on July 9th, encompasses a comprehensive forensic legislative investigation into the several critical areas, including but not restricted. 1. The importation and production of substandard petroleum products, the availability of good and quality crude oil supplied to domestic refineries. 3. The enforcement of regulatory standards by bodies such as the Nigerian Midstream Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority the NMDPRA. 4. The support for local crude refiners and the issuance of import license. 5. Addressing the resurgence of fare queues, high PMX costs, and other related matters. My dear colleague, Honorable Ikenga and I are fully committed to addressing the 8 areas of concern. The task ahead of us is undoubtedly challenging, but we are confident in the abilities of men and women within our committees to.
The Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria has raised the monetary policy rate by 50 basis points from the 26.25% to 26.75%. The governor of the central bank, Olayemi Kadiso, said the continuous hike in rates was based on Nigeria's persistent hike in food and core inflation, calling on the fiscal authorities to immediately address the inflationary pressures. And now the organized private sector has warned against a hike in interest rates as the Central Bank of Nigeria's Monetary Policy Committee continues its meeting in Abuja today. This is the 4th committee meeting of the 2024, and at the end of every meeting before now, the committee has increased the benchmark interest rate in a bid to tame the rise in inflation. The last increase was made when the monetary policy rate was hiked to 26.85% from 24.75%. Or from that, the House of Representatives again, Committee Chairman on Delegated Legislation Femi Bamisile revealed that the diversion of the federal government palliative by the state government could be one of the main reasons behind the youth's anger on the proposed nationwide planned protests. He advised those planning to protest over the harrowing hardship being experienced in the country to engage in a dialogue with the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government. Now, away from that, let's get to the fact that the federal government says it expects the renewable energy sector to contribute about 9,000 megawatts of power supply to the country by the year 2030 as part of the general vision to end the energy poverty in the country. The Minister of Power, Chief Adebayo Odala, will discuss this in Abuja at the opening of a summit on accelerated scale of renewable and distributed energy resources in the country, organized by the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, said the government was determined to ensure the provisions of affordable and reliable power supply to industries and other institutions. And to follow seeing the death toll from his landslide in the southern Ethiopia has risen to at least 146, warning that the number could rise. The landslide occurred around 10 on Monday following heavy rains in the mountainous area of the South Ethiopia regional state. The last toll was 55. Vice President Kamala Harris has secured the support of major Democratic delegates to become the party's nominee for president. Reports say she had received the endorsement of more than 1,976 delegates needed to win the nomination in the first round of voting. This means, however, that Harris is on course to be crowned the party's standard bearer and take a Republican Donald Trump in November's presidential election. Police were out in force to the empty street of the Ugandan capital, Kampala, ahead of the planned and anti-corruption rally that has been banned by the authorities. President Museveni, who has ruled the East African countries with an iron face for almost 4 decades, had warned the demonstrators at the weekend that they were playing with fire. Police said 3 opposition lawmakers were remanded in custody after opposition leader Bobby Wine said his National Unity Platform headquarters was under siege by the police and army officers. The call to action over corruption has been organized online, drawing inspiration from the mostly Gen Z-led anti-government protests in neighboring Kenya that have rolled the country for a month. In sport tonight, Victor Osimhen playing one more season at the Napoli League is increasingly imminent due to reports of emerging tweets in his move to Paris at Saint-Germain. The Nigerian striker has been the subject of away from the Napoli this summer, but his 130 million euros release clause has scared off suitors from his preferred destinations. The English Premier League originated the interest in the player last week. And as a package on News Prime, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja, I'm Edika Michael. Many thanks for staying with us tonight. See you again.
House.